Plays, and today we're going to be taking a look at these three boxes here, which are the last three little bits of Project Elite that I haven't yet gone over. So we have the ammo pack, the alien allies, and lastly the big Terran box. So let's have a look, see what you get inside. What do we have here then? First up, let's have a look at the Terran box. So the Terran box is basically a box that holds all of the Kickstarter exclusives for the base game and some of the other bits as well. So first off, you have another dual-sided map. This is the same. Oh, there we go. It's the same size as the one you get in the base game, and it works very, very similarly. There is also a set of rules here which gives you all the setup instructions to use those maps with all of the scenarios and missions from the base game. Next up, you have got minis, lots of minis. So you've got a whole heap of new bosses. In fact, by the looks of things, you've got 7 new bosses from my count, one of which is just lots and lots of little bits. You have got some alternative sculpts for the main like cannon fodder enemies, the swarm. You then have also got another 9 heroes. You've got some alternative little pieces here, so these can replace the alien spawn tiles, so that's why they've got 1, 2 and 3 eggs, so they can be spawn tile 1, 2 and 3. And next up, this is probably the only functional piece that's added to the Terran box, which are these, which are guard towers. What you can do is there are extra cards for this in the box as well, and you can place these out somewhere in the battlefield, hop your Project Elite soldier on the top of it, and that then extends their range and the number of dice they can roll every time they take a shot. So that's quite useful. So that's probably, as I say, that's probably the only functional thing that's added in the Terran box. On the underside here, you've got basically space to put most of the other extras that you can get with the Project Elite Kickstarter campaign. I say most of them because unfortunately the other 2 boxes that we were looking at today, the alien allies and the ammo pack, they don't fit in this, so it's a little bit of an oversight by CMON there. But yeah, so you'll notice a lot of these things from previous videos. We've got like the Rook team soldier here, we've got the pieces from Deathmore Valley over here as well as all of the boards for those players and the ones you'll find over here as well, and then you've got space for all your cards and tokens as well. And that is basically the Terran box. Oh no, that's not. There isn't. You can also get a lovely dice bag as well. Now this is a lovely thing, but it's kind of useless in the game because you don't at any point actually draw dice out of the bag, so it's just for keeping them safe when they're in the box. So one thing I should probably go on as well is there are alternative dice you can get as well. So these are the alternative dice. They are a little, I don't know what the effect is, but it's like a marbly effect. That's what I'd call it. When you compare them to the base dice that come with the base game, quite nice. But yeah, so that's another extra you could have got, which I didn't mention earlier. Next up, we have the Alien Allies. This is another 2 characters. Again, very nice models. Thematically, I think it's supposed to be that the aliens in Project Elite have not just been attacking humans, they've also been attacking these guys as well. This chap looks a lot like Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen, and this guy looks a lot like an Asari from Mass Effect, so it's quite cool. So you get the cards for those there. The player boards for those. You've also got some event cards that you can use only with these aliens, where basically these characters will get extra powers that round, which is good, but then they're also more likely to get targeted by the swarm, which is bad. So that's what you get in the alien, what are they called? Alien Allies, that was it. lastly, we have this, which is the ammo pack, and I haven't actually played with this yet. I've read the rules, and it sounds really good, but obviously you can tell I haven't played with it. It's completely unpunched. But what this does is it makes the game slightly harder, which, if you've watched any of the rest of the videos that I've got, you'll know that I'm not particularly good at this game, so I don't need to make it harder for me. It's already hard enough. But what it does add is it adds ammunition and grenades. So what will happen, and ammo crates as well, to get more ammunition. So what will happen is you end up placing these 2 ammo crates somewhere on the board, depending on the mission. And every time that you have a special weapon, so not the ones you start with, you'll place 3 of these ammo tokens on them, which means you can only fire it 3 times before you have to run back to one of these ammo crates to get more ammunition for it. And to be honest with you, I don't need that stress in my life at the moment. It's hard enough as it is. So I'm sure I will use this at some point, but I'm not ready to graduate to that just yet. The other thing you've got are 3 grenade types. So you've got a smoke grenade, which means you can't be moved. It doesn't allow the aliens to move into your area. You've got a repel grenade, which basically, well, you can throw into amongst the aliens, and it will stop them from moving, which is also quite good. And then lastly, there is just your standard explosive grenade that doesn't have a token, and then you throw it, and there's like an area effect. So you do some 2 damage wherever it lands, and then 1 damage for everything around it. So yeah, that's quite cool. That's the ammo pack. Lastly, I wanted to have a quick talk about the compatibility between all of these expansions that we've got here and the ones we've looked at in previous videos. As a rule, most of the stuff can be interoperably changed with each other. There are sometimes some special rules. For example, the Deathmore always comes in with just 2 segments as opposed to the up to 6 that it can have when you're playing in a Deathmore Valley campaign. The other one that off the top of my head is that the Rook Team characters, you can't really use them in Deathmore Valley. The reason being is the Rook Team can't use equipment, and a lot of the Deathmore Valley campaign revolves around using equipment. So you could maybe have 1 person on your squad that was from the Rook Team, but that person wouldn't be able to use any of the traps, any of the beacon or anything like that. So beware of that. It's not mentioned in the rule book. Perhaps they can use the equipment, despite the fact it says they can't in the Rook Team. I don't know. I'm not going to second guess them. What else was there? I think that was it. That was the only one that really stuck out on me. Those were the only things that really I thought jarred. Overall, it's a pretty good Kickstarter campaign. I've got pretty much all of it. I think the one thing I don't have is a crossover. There was another box you could get which allows you to do a crossover with Zombicide. What was the space one called? Zombicide Invader. I don't own Zombicide Invader. I'm not really bothered about picking it up in the future, so I don't own that. So I don't have that crossover box either. I'm sure that's pretty good as well, but you won't find any information about that on this channel. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos looking at Project Elite. I can finally start playing something else. I mean, to be honest with you, as much as I would like to play a few other games that have turned up in the meantime, I'm probably going to be playing quite a lot of Project Elite because I've really enjoyed it. I want to try some of the new boards. I haven't played the boards that come with the Terran Box yet. I've only done the ones from the base game and the expansions, the boards that come with those. And I haven't played any of the full-on campaigns yet either, so there's still quite a lot for me to look at, and I'm still quite looking forward to doing it. But yeah, that is the end of my look at Project Elite. So I've been the Punk Meeple. Thank you ever so much for watching.